Hi guys. Um, this is my new update to my channel. I recently moved to Austin, Texas, and I have a new microphone, new computer, and this cool layout here. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. This is where the triangle is. I can scroll down, show you what I'm looking at on my screen. This is the internet right now. I could probably pull up some code real quick. Um, and bring that full screen. And then I'm going to check here. Yeah. So, this channel, I love making YouTube videos. Some of it is going to be coding stuff. Some of it is going to be um, about my website or what I'm working on. Some of it is going to be chess related. Uh, well, okay, so let me just pull up an analysis board. So I can analyze chess like this, and um, I can show you like a book that I'm reading or I've already read, Dark Matter. I'll do a quick review of that. It's an Apple TV Plus show, and it uh, it gripped me. The show was so good. It only gives you 2 episodes. So I went home and bought the book and read the whole book because I didn't want to wait for episode 3 and I wanted to read. So I'm really happy I'm becoming a better reader. I'd like to work on writing someday, like more writing. Um, um, so this has been a goal of mine to be able, I mean, it's simple enough. I can teach you how to do it. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm using Zoom and I'm in a one-person meeting and I'm recording it and then I'm going to upload it to YouTube. But you finally don't have to deal with bad audio, a bad computer making noises. Just a bad living situation I had. And I'm currently looking for a coding job in Texas. Um, and I've made my website much more professional. Um, and I even have an alternate portfolio that is boring and but it does show my projects. I have like an AI um, generated Pokemon app here that you can see, and you basically get a response from ChatGPT based on the Pokemon team that you select. And I'm learning right now Next.js. Um, and I need this to get out of my face. You can't see it, it's blocking me. Okay. I'm learning this Next.js thing and Vercel. Um, and it's really going to make my web development much more professional. Um, so I'm still going to have some originality, but um, it's going to be much more professional, and able to do a lot more, um, using reusable components. But like, see, I don't really know what you're subscribed to this channel for or watching this video for, in the sense that I wear so many different hats, and not everyone's interested in philosophy, chess, books, um, conspiracy theories, religion, um, music. Sometimes I just play guitar and I sing, and some of you like that, and you've been very kind and asked for chords. So I'll real quick just to this is probably out of tune, but and I don't have the proper chair for this, but um basically someone asked me once, what like for a tutorial, and all I'm gonna say is capo 1, C, E major, just regular E, and then A minor, and then F. And then if you want, you can take off the middle finger on the F. I guess that's F minor or something. Palm muted. Can't you see that I'm bleeding out? I swear and you can't be there. It's a very and then so on that F, I'm taking off the middle finger. And I don't have time. It's too late to play that song. This is a 1-bedroom apartment, but out of respect for my neighbors, I will stop. But yeah, that song you really need to belt it out. And so yeah, I'm all these different things. I haven't found success yet financially, but my dad lives in Texas and I moved down here and he helped me get this apartment and I gotta figure out a way how to pay for it and keep it because it's awesome. And I got a bookshelf with all my books and I wrote down a little list of things. I have a wall mounted TV right here with a second monitor. I could screen share that as well, but I'm learning how to use this for the first time, and that was an extra variable I had to get rid of for this video to work. But I will eventually figure out how to do that and be able to look at myself without blocking what I'm showing you here, right? Because I'm right there. But I like being able to see myself. Anyway, so I read Dark Matter. It's amazing. Um, I've realized that I can only read thrillers. I mean, I can read other books, but it takes me forever. But if it's a thriller, I'll read it almost immediately. So, and it got me thinking, like, why would I read anything else? Like, if it's not thrilling. But yeah, it's really difficult for me to finish books or choose books over video games or movies. But thrillers, I think, are actually better than movies. Like I think thrillers are the book I would recommend if you want to be a reader, but you can't pull it off. Because yeah, it's just amazing. But anyway, so we got so longtime fans of the channel, um, and there aren't many of you. I understand this, and I haven't been delivering a good enough product, but I do have a certain voice and a certain diction or what's the word? Vocabulary that is useful. And the charisma of you looking at me, um, right now I need to go to the gym more. I am going to the gym slightly, but um, you know, when I'm doing just a pure chess video, like I'll give you an example. Um, As you can see, I have my website programmed to let me get out of here. It'll switch automatically. This was kind of the layout, and then you have the mobile version that does that as well. You'll see the pictures are changing here, but you know, it's gonna get so much better. Like I'm literally gonna figure this out and just be the best coder ever. Like I don't see any reason why not. I fully understand kind of everything that they're doing. I just haven't been able to do it in a way that once I start integrating the newest ways of coding, I mean, I'm a long way off, but I would say I'm within a year of being able to integrate a modern day framework like Next.js. But that could be not useful information to you if you're not a coder. So, but just know that I'm gonna be bringing professional level websites that can be usable by multiple users and won't have an agenda um that is hidden. Um it will have my agenda, but my agenda should be to provide a free thing. I'll give you a small example. Call of Duty is a first-person shooter that uses EOMM, not skill-based matchmaking. It does that too, but EOMM, because what they've discovered is to addict people to the game, they have to pick when you win and lose. So they hand you on a silver platter a win to get you going, or they hand you a loss. They force you a loss, especially if you're a good player, to frustrate you. And then you get a win, and then you feel good. And they're playing with your emotions. They're playing with your dopamine. And everyone knows who plays, like tries to play competitively online in video games. I'm not playing like PS5 modern day games, but I still play my PS4 occasionally. It's rigged in the sense that there's a hidden skill factor that the computer has for you, and you don't know what it is. Mine is obviously extremely high. Some of this channel, I mean, a lot of this channel is clips of me getting nukes and stuff with like knives. But I've never gotten a nuke with a knife in the new Call of Duty. But you, I'm obviously a good player, but I'll get terrible teammates over and over, right? And the reason for that is if you put me in a fair game, my skill level will make it so easy for me to win the game that I'm more likely to turn off the game. But if you put me in a game, and if you balance it evenly, that's good for everybody. If you put one good player on the enemy team and one good player on my team, and we have a fair game, that would be fair for everyone. The trouble is when they're forcing you a loss and there's nothing you can do but get frustrated or obsess over the game of how do I win even when they're trying to force me to lose. And like, so I would use a one-shot kill weapon where there's no chance of the game screwing me over, where it has to kill them if I hit it, right? It's harder to hit, but if I hit it, I'm gonna kill them. Um, that's one way to get around the different things. But anyway, that's a rabbit hole of EOMM. I would want to bring the people as a game designer an FPS with a fair ranking system, with no hidden skill level behind the scenes that you're not aware of. The golden days are Halo 3 playing a level 45 game, right? With your friends who are good at Halo. And you guys know who the best player is because you can go into a lobby, create your own match, and play death match, and it's clear, who the best player is or who wins the most often. And then you also have a level next to your name where you can go into public matchmaking and get matched up against a similar level, and that level actually means something. And if you lose, it goes down. But see, games are so interested in keeping you around that they want to keep the bad players. So they punish the good players by not telling them how good they are, and they make it absurdly hard for the good players. Um, and they hide how bad the bad players are to get them excited to keep playing. And like some of that is okay, but I want to provide the people because you really don't have a choice between Call of Duty and a game that doesn't have this messed up ranking system because, or like literally, like you can shoot someone in Call of Duty and because you're good, your bullets won't do as much damage or they'll mess with your internet. That's a real thing. Um, so whenever, like if you're a girlfriend and you hear your boyfriend complaining about Call of Duty and why is he getting frustrated? It's because he knows that he's better than the guy who just killed him. and that the game is screwing them over. And that literally happens. That's like a pattern. But anyway, where was I going with that? I would want to one day build a first person shooter potentially that this is a long-term goal. Like when I'm in control of the internet, I'm not censored because I can just put up whatever I want. I can say whatever I want, do whatever I want because I am the one uploading it. So unless my hosting provider has a problem with it, it's fine and I can always switch that. But I haven't had any problems. I can upload um, nude pictures of girls if I want on my website, which I have done in the past just to see if it would be a problem, like who can stop me? You know what I mean? It's interesting when you have control of a piece of the internet. Um, there's just no they're not busy censoring people who know how to code. They're censoring people who are using other platforms like Squarespace or Instagram, like, but if you control, so anyway, I want to give that control to people, give people a transparent experience of applications because what I was trying to say earlier is you don't have a choice between Call of Duty and a fair first person shooter because there is no fair first person shooter because the level of quality of the explosions and the killing the guy in Call of Duty is so superior because they have the most money from their questionable practices and they use that money to hire the best people to create the best particle effects, and that's where the fun is, like, because you're playing the game so that you can have the thrill of I'm going to throw a grenade over there and it's going to stick on a guy and blow up, and I get to see him and his teammate blow up, which blows up a C4, and then a helicopter comes and crashes, and all that is very difficult to code, and you can only find it there. Like, show me what's the alternative. Like, I guess there are new games coming out, but like for arena shooters, for someone like me who wants to be able to um, win the game consistently and have a good time, you can't, there's just no other option, Halo's dead. Like, um, Infinite was a nice try, and I'm not an Xbox player anymore, but Halo 3, people still play, which is embarrassing when you look at what should have happened is there should have been a Halo 4 type game that was the same freaking thing, you know, but just better graphics. Like they shouldn't have changed anything really, because you get to that point of sport of perfection where don't add a 4 point line to the basketball game. It is what it is. Don't add a piece to chess. I mean, I actually like Gothic chess and adding a piece to chess, but my point is, um, games get worse over time. There's something happening where things are getting worse because they're focused on microtransactions, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one of the things I would want to, that's one of the reasons I like learning how to program. And I'm excited about the web development professional skills I'm learning is I can eventually release an app that is competitive with Instagram or whatever, and people will like it better, not because I'm a better coder, but because I'm not using the annoying practices that are pushed upon you, right? And you have no choice. If Facebook says, we're going to do our news feed this way now because it's going to be more addictive and less convenient for you and take you more, you don't have a choice to rebel. You just live with it, right? But I would want to create a platform that is consistent and get providing the best user experience, even if that means you only have to log in for 5 minutes and get what you need and get out. I'm not going to be like giving you cocaine like a lab rat, you know? Um, like that's not why I was put on this earth. So money is useful for me to pay for this apartment and also hopefully have enough free time to code my own things, which I think will ultimately be bought out by a company that's afraid of me. That's the long-term goal, is build an app so impressive or that people start using it, essentially, right? Medium-term goal is build an app that people actually enjoy using on a professional, like a wide range of people. Like my website, I've worked really hard on it for 5 years, but it doesn't have a lot of mass appeal because you can't comment on things, and it's just a little bit hard to navigate if you're new to it, and it's not, it's just, it was my first try, it wasn't my first try, but my first major project, passion project. And I know that if I tear it all down and start over again tomorrow, it will be much better, which I will do. um but anyway, so my goal is to deliver professional, highly original content. Some of my videos on the channel are currently invisible. Like, you can't find them because I'm searching for a job, and I thought it would be responsible to minimize my or mitigate my abrasive opinions if I have any. I mean, it's a difficult time to have an opinion. Most people know this. Um, with COVID and the wokeism, I guess, or leftism. Um, yeah, I don't know. So this is pretty cool. Um, that I can do this. And here's my contact card. Pretty cool. I could make that better as well, but the idea is when you go to maxchan.com/contact, you get a card, which is similar to the physical card that I can give people sometimes. So the idea here was to have a card so it feels like I'm handing you a business card. Um, and there's my email if you want me to give you the hidden videos about Jesus, or um, theories I've had about myself or the world. Um, the reason I really liked dark matter is I feel like, it's about regret and the alternate universe that you are currently living without regret, and trying to get from this universe into that universe. That's one of the ways of it's one of the plot lines, one of the characters. And it just reminds me of how different my life would be. Like, I feel like Jason 2 creating the box. And you were looking at it, like this was once a dream. Like, I don't know, it's so cool that I can uh make a professional video. Like, it should sound decent, look decent, and I'm semi-articulate, and I promise I'm original. I have to not tell you what I truly believe, because my true beliefs are controversial and censorable, um, and temporarily inappropriate. Um, but if you love the truth, if you love Jesus, if you love chess, if you love conspiracy theories, if you love books, video games, Halo, if you love changing for the better, you know, if you love the rebel, the rebellion, the Luke Skywalker, the hero, the hero's journey, um, I think you might enjoy my channel. I enjoy my channel. So my channel, last thing I want to say is, it's for me and for you. I'm not going to pretend it's for you. Certainly for me, hopefully for you as well. Um, There's too many of you to target. Generally, I think you guys have been pretty cool. Some of you say nice things. Some of you will say backhanded compliments like, I clicked on this video thinking it would be crazy, but you actually make a lot of sense or stuff like that. And I'm gonna unhide that video. That video was called Everything You Know is Brown. So obviously that's a strong statement. How can I back that up? And I back it up in a way that makes you comment at the end, okay, that actually makes sense. Um, and that's about spirituality and talking with God. If you like aliens, angels, you know, God, like I'm not a fundamentalist Christian, boring, no fun zone guy. However, I respect those men and women. I respect a true Christian believer who does believe the Bible and you know is kind of um I respect it as a way of life and a way of thinking and a potentially right answer. But I don't currently fully believe that it is the right answer. I believe I need to further educate myself on the Bible and applying Christianity to my life. But, and I love the Christian story of Jesus, but mostly the war in heaven of God and the devil. Um, those two things. So the fall from heaven, the story of the devil and the story of Jesus are my two things I'm the most interested in with Christianity. Um, and the music I make is very unprofessional with just an acoustic guitar, and it used to be a bad microphone. But I've messed around with GarageBand a little bit. It's kind of frustrating. But it can do some things that are useful. Eventually, that's another goal. I'd like to make a professional. Imagine me, right? My channel, my vision. Imagine if it came true and I had a intro song that I wrote that is professionally processed and recorded and produced and it's good. It's going to be original. That's the thing is my gift, if I have any, is originality. And I can make an original intro song, have an original um, image in the background that I designed with original code, right? And then, I mean, I stole this matrix coming down, but I made it gold and have specific letters. Um, and that's the only thing I stole. This image is generated by me and AI. So AI is a huge game changer for the man, right? Because this is about one man against the state. It's the United States of America versus Maxwell Jan. It's what it comes down to because not that I'm against America, but how much power that one man has against America defines the greatness of America. So if I can win that lawsuit whenever it comes again or whatever, you know, it's like that would prove America's greatness, if it lost to me. In the sense that I'm an individual who I believe could lead a resistance or a revolution, or a movement, I'm extremely flawed. I have an extremely flawed past, future, and present, but I am capable of honesty. I value honesty and transparency. I genuinely respect you on the other side of this screen as a free thinking individual who is doing the best they can with the information they've been given. And there's a lot of tricks that have been played on us that I forgive myself for and I forgive you for. And, you know, I believe God is real. I believe God is good. I believe I've seen evidence of God. I've felt it and I've seen it and I've interacted with it tangibly. Um, like people have stories of angel encounters, perfectly sane people, and then they say, I almost died and an angel saved me, or they say, then this angel came and he told me this. I told my pastor dad this, and he cried. Or it's like people. I love watching YouTube videos about real angel encounters, and I believe I had one and I've made a video sharing it, but it teeters on the edge of I can't quite have that publicly available right now. Um, but ideally I'll get to a place where I have financial independent stability, can do what I love. And eventually I want to have a family and support them, but I also want to support um the world and give people the tools to either learn how to code things yourself or use my applications that are tailored for your benefit, um, without any shady practices like shadow banning or whatever you want to think of. Um, And then ultimately, way down the line, I'd like to create, but I do want to work on this quickly as I can, but with a level head, because that's probably my biggest weakness is my head getting too far out in front of up in the clouds. But I do want to create Cloudland. Right now, this is Cloudland. Um, it's this apartment, and I am in control of it finally. This is my first place I've actually had control over, and it's doing great. And I talk about myself a lot on this channel, but that's me. I'm not gonna make you like wonder who is this guy. Like if I just talk about dark matter for an hour, um someone else could do that. Um so this channel is about you're encountering an individual corporation. You're encountering a brand, um, a philosopher, a modern day philosopher. And my goal is I mean, one of my many goals is to get you to think critically about whatever it is that I think needs to be thought critically about, um, which was the vaccine during COVID or whatever it is. Right now it's the war, right? Um, and the protests. And just just what I'll say about that is we don't know precisely what's happening. We may think we do, we may read a report and trust that report, um, about what's happening in Gaza or on campuses, but unless you go there and experience it for yourself, you don't really know as well as you would if you went there. So just be careful with what you believe, I guess. And the number one message I want to give to you is the angel never spoke to me, but he was wearing a shirt that said "Fear God." And there are shirts now everywhere that say "Fear of God." His just said "Fear God," and it was pink. And he was a masculine guy working a 7-Eleven. Made no sense. I had been to that 7-Eleven. I don't want to tell the full story because I already told it somewhere else, but his message to me was fear God. And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to be afraid of the Most High Almighty God, because that is the beginning of wisdom, is written in Scripture. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And I fear God because I know what He gave me and how much I've squandered it, how much I could help if I got out of my own way, if I was able to control my own urges, um, and addictions or whatever. Um, if I worked hard, you know, I could. Why not? Why not? Why not change the world for the good? I think that people drastically underestimate their impact on the universe. Drastically. Those with low self-esteem. Those with high self-esteem, I would say you're probably not even thinking about it, which is fine. Good for you. And but don't think you're above a God who controls death and will be there when you die and will judge you. I think that is a very, very high statistical probability that you will be judged after death. And the judge will judge you as you judge others, according to what Jesus said. Judge and you'll be judged. If you deny Jesus on earth, when you get to heaven and you face the judge, the heavenly Father, Jesus will deny you if you've denied him, or if you've like in this video, if I say I believe Jesus is the Son of God, uh theoretically, according to scripture, when I die and I'm about to be judged by God, who I fear, who has the right to kill me, he can just say, you know what, Max, I'd rather you go away from my perfect kingdom. I don't think you belong here. I don't think you belong anywhere, you know? You know what I mean? Um, Rather than killing me, he will listen to his son argue on my behalf, saying, um, what does he say he'll say? So saying Max didn't judge people, so don't judge him. Or or I know him. I know Max. You know? And God will be like, all right, it's on you, Jesus. And do I understand the relationship between God and Jesus? No. That's very complicated. It could be a trick. It could be he's just a man. And his divinity only takes away from what he accomplished as a man and what you can accomplish as a man. I love Jordan Peterson's perspective on Jesus as a figurative and literal character meeting at the boundary of the spiritual and the physical, the literal and the figure, the literary and the fictional and the historical, right? He's like this perfect intersection of 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 heaven and earth. So, you know, man, I love everyone. I wish you knew what I knew and I've seen what I've seen. I try to put it in lyrics. I try to stay alive in this crazy world. Um, don't let it get you down. Don't let it bring you down. Um, Sometimes good people are attacked in ways that other people don't understand or ways that are unreasonable. Um, and you know, I just haven't blogged in months. I have a separate, I can't say too much. But there's a video of a guy, PhD, and he's talking about, someone in the audience asks him, why does God allow evil? And he brings up scripture, which is, maybe you've never heard this, it's so interesting. The biblical answer to why does God allow evil is, first and foremost, in my opinion, the argument, or the metaphor of God, the landowner sows good seed, and while it's growing, his enemy sneaks in and sows bad seed, or wheat and tares, or whatever. Good and bad stuff growing together. And the landowner um is asked, why don't you just rip up, didn't you plant good seed? Why don't you just rip up the bad, the evil people, or the evil seeds? And he says, because if I rip them up, I ruin the growth of the good ones I planted. So it's all working in God's favor. It's working in your favor. All the all the adversity that you might feel like this world is spinning out of control. You know, maybe you think everything's fine. Um, and God bless you if you do. It's a wonderful thing to be happy, but it's hard to be happy for your entire life. You're going to go through hard patches. And if you are happy for your entire life, I believe you owe it to the universe to take a break from that happiness and work for the happiness of others, at least for like a period of time, and then go back to being happy, right? But anyway, if you rip out the evil people, if God came down and just killed all the bad guys, first of all, I might be dead because I'm a bad guy too. Like, we're all mixed bags. But even if we just say I'm a good guy and this guy over here is bad, God coming down and killing the evil guy would would disrupt my growth, because then it would be obvious that God is real and what he can do. Then I would fear God without earning the fear, or without um yeah, I would have wisdom without earning wisdom. Um and I think, another thing the PhD guy said, is, about free will and stuff, but I just read my blog post. Message me my email. I can give you a private URL to that blog post. Currently, I have it hidden. But I'm learning how to protect myself and keep some opinions to myself. Um, but ultimately, I do want to deliver you the truth. Um, and I went to chess club on Saturday, and I was 3-0. I beat a guy on the street. I beat a guy reading the Bible in the chess club. And then I beat another guy. And the third guy, I memorized the whole game and can show you in memory, but I won't do that in this video. But it was an amazing game where he was losing, but he played so many amazing moves that made me think and almost fall into his traps. And I eventually, he fell into my trap and I won the game. I was up a queen, but he had a rook and a knight for it. and we had this interesting battle, and I won, and I'm really happy with my progress as a chess player, as a reader, hopefully a writer and coder. And, I have a very clear vision, and I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'll get going. I have this guy, a custom clothing I made, says white blood cell, um, kind of one of my philosophies. And this picture actually, in the background, this is actually an AI upscaled version of my original AI generated image of a white blood cell of God saving the world, which is how I would like to be. Um, I would like that to me, my spirit identifies with that image as the best part of me, the highest part of me is hopefully that, or aspires to be that. And yeah, so I'm gonna end it there. God bless, and thanks for listening. And this was supposed to be a short little channel update, but as you can see, I can get carried away. Um, so thank you. Bye.